The clash. Hold on. The Clash of the Titans. The HodgeTwins versus the Amazing Lucas. Guys, me personally, I've wanted this battle forever. Okay, now I'm not a big fan of neither side. I don't like Amazing Lucas. I don't like the HodgeTwins. But I've personally I've always wanted this battle. Like this battle is this is like Christmas for me. More drama. The more drama, the more fun. So yeah, if you don't know, the Amazing Lucas was on the HodgeTwins podcast. I don't know why I blinked there, but yeah, the Amazing Lucas was on the HodgeTwins podcast, and um, the debate actually got pretty heated. They actually almost fought. Actually, there was like, they actually like almost like put hands on each other. Um, so yeah, I would show you footage, but there is no footage because apparently the Hodge twins are refusing to release footage of this episode of this debate between them and Amazing Lucas, which is a pretty pussy move in my opinion. I mean, like if you don't think you're in the wrong, or if you like think you actually won that argument, which to be honest, while I haven't you know watched the footage, none of us has watched the footage. Um, I can easily see Lucas winning that. I mean, I don't think I don't think the Haas twins are smart enough to properly handle themselves in a debate. Let's just say that. I don't think they're really that smart enough. Um, but in my opinion, I'm sure some of you guys will think the same. Will feel differently. But anyways, so yeah. But the Amazing Lucas did um give us details on like what happened on the podcast. Or like when he got on the podcast, he gave us details, and so yeah, I'm gonna be showing you some clips of what he shared, and yeah, we'll go for that.
White men, when it comes to crime, when it comes to per capita, when it comes to larceny, when it comes to trafficking, right, which is what we're dealing with Epstein, when it comes to vandalism, when it comes to embezzlement, when it comes to, right, I'm listing a whole bunch of crimes per capita that are white men, and they're getting upset. Oh, right, when it comes to bestiality, when it comes to, I'm like, oh, what's the bestiality? How many people is that, right? Doesn't matter. The point that I was making is that you're highlighting this one stat, right? And we're not even looking at the exonerations. We're not looking at the false imprisonments. We're not looking at, we're not looking at any of that. The point is they try and make us the face of crime. I'm like, yo, you looking at one crime. We look at a litany of things, right? And I go and tell them, well, you name me the black person that caused your interest rates to go up. You name me the black person that caused the depression. You name me the black person that caused the recession. You name me a black person that caused your house to be deflated in value.
So Lucas pretty much, makes them look stupid right out the gate, and it does seem he is more knowledgeable on race issues than the Hodge twins. I mean, the Hodge twins feel, it just feels like they just look up what they see online and then just spew it out with like no research whatsoever. And Lucas then says that they like share like two like or share like one brain cell and they pass it back and forth to like talk to him, which is just absolute like the ultimate roast because it's true. Like the Hodge twins, like I mean everyone who is unbiased can see that they're stupid, that they're not knowledgeable. They just spew like what they hear and what other people tell them. So like yeah, like I'm not surprised that Lucas won this debate. I'm not surprised one bit because it's like I'm sure even I can win an argument against him. By the way, I'm not a debater. That's all just hypothetical. Okay, I'm just boasting. Okay, I'm just puffing up my chest. I'll admit that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that Lucas won this debate. Not surprised one bit. Now, here is where things get really, really interesting. So, um, Lucas said that it was really like the HodgeTwins weren't the only ones in the room. There was like I think two or three other people, and the computer guy or the cameraman or whatever started to like interject and say, no, that's not true, like interjecting his like own opinions. And I know exactly what he's talking about. Like, like the same person did this with like Destiny. Like Destiny was on the Hushers podcast, and the guy in the background kept on like interjecting and interrupting, and like giving his own input. It's like, bro, like, shut the fuck up. Like, no one cares, like, what you have to say. Like, like, you're not at the table. These guys are at the table. You're not at the table. Like, no one's there for you to give your input. Like, nobody cares. Okay, like, just do your job. You're a cameraman. But yeah, so he said the Arab man, which if you don't know that, like the guy is actually Palestinian. I think Lucas said he was, and the Palestinian guy actually said the hard ER to Lucas, pretty much, just like in like broad daylight, like just like casually, just say the hard ER in front of three black guys.
I'm telling him, have him have a seat. Tell him to have a seat. So he keeps on interjecting. He's like, you don't want any of that. I was like, no, I do. I do want some of that, bro. And tell him to have a seat because he keeps on peanut gallery, right? Oh, that's not true. Oh, this and that. Oh, what study is that? And they have this Palestinian. He talks about how he fled Palestine because of what was going on, and now he's with his family. Right? He said to the Jews, we're all inward. I'm like, you don't say that, right? I don't want to hear that word come out of your mouth, bro. And you have this black man. He's been on videos with the twins before. You have him trying to say, hold on now, hold on. Because I said, I'll smack the, I told him I smacked the dog ish out of him. I let him know that you don't do that or there's going to be a physical repercussion, essentially. Now, the HodgeTwins were like, no, you're not. I was like, listen, you want to bet? I was like, I bet you. I told them, I was like, hey, there's no one in this room that's going to be able to stop me from putting hands on him. No one. And they're like, that's not true. I'll be able to stop you. I was like, okay, let's count to five and test that, right? You want to count to five? That's what I told them.
The fact that you have two fully grown black men defending a Palestinian who called another black man the N word, I think that really speaks volumes on where we are in this country. Like this is 2025. The fact that racism is now just openly acceptable, where you can just say in broad daylight and no one and no, no one bats an eye. In fact, actually no. People will defend the racist. Like if you try to defend yourself, if you try to react in any certain way, you're the bad guy. You're the villain, and people will defend racism now. Now that they feel emboldened by who's in office, people will say that. People are now being open about it, in real life and on Twitter. And I feel like this. I feel like this story. I feel like this story really, really speaks to where we are in this country. And I'm not trying to give out like any kind of message here, but this is this is a crazy story. Like I mean, like I kind of feel like if I've always felt like if the HodgeTwins and Amazing Lucas were to like debate, it would be heated, as most debates are nowadays. But I didn't think it would get to this. I did not think it would get to an Arab calling a black person an N word and then two other black people defending the Arab calling the black person the N word. That in no world should that make any sense.
Why don't you shut the F up? Like, that's what you need to do. Shut the F up. So he says something like, blah, 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 F and N word. I'm like, that's when I get up. That's when I get up. I said, what the F did you say? I said, what the F did you say? The HodgeTwins get up. They're like, hey, why are you going towards him, man? Why you getting in his face? I said, I'm not getting in his face. I'm asking him a question. I said, I'm asking him, hey, what the F did you say? So now I got the HodgeTwins in front of me, right? The dynamic is insane. I got two black men, right, in front of me protecting a pale Arab Palestinian who had just called me a hard R. Because before he was trying to say, well, I meant it in the context that we're all, N words. This time he was using it to disparage me, right, as a pejorative. And he was trying to say, why are you getting so upset? Why are you getting so upset? This is what the Arab guy is saying to me, right? Because I got the HodgeTwins right here. They trying to bury it. I don't give. Now, if I really wanted stuff to pop off, that wouldn't matter to me. But I'm like, why don't you? I was like, stay on 10, be a man, say what you said. Didn't you say it? He was like, yeah, I said it. And that's when the HodgeTwins was like, it's just a word. Kevin's like, I was like, what are you talking about? What, that word is disparaging. If you know the history of that word, you know where that word come from? You know what that means? He was like, you know what? I was like, why don't you care? You should care, right? He's like, he's talking ill about black people. That's when Keith, no, not Keith, because Keith was on this side, Kevin. That's when Kevin comes out and says, I don't care about black people. I was like, there we go. There we go. All right, glad you said it. I'm glad we got that on camera.
This is just embarrassing from the HodgeTwins. And now I can kind of see why they want to release the footage. I mean, they should still release it so, we can all make fun of them for their stupidity. But like to just openly defend racism as a black person is just mind-boggling to me. Well, it's just like it's just crazy how this world has become, where you have black people who are just defending anti-black racism. Like I just don't understand. I don't understand, and it's like do you guys uh, and sometimes I don't know if what they do is just because you have people say, oh, they're just grifters. After this account from Amazing Lucas, I actually do believe that they actually are anti-black evil people. Like this is just pure evil. And so yeah, shout out to Amazing Lucas. I know I've criticized him in the past, but yeah, I hope they release the footage because just so we can point and laugh at their stupidity because they're idiots. But yeah, I just want to talk about it because the Hodge, this is the Clash of the Titans, the Clash of the Titans of Black YouTube right here.